Hello, Virgo. This is a message of power for you because we're living in some trying times where a lot of people may not very much feel as if they have a lot of power. So I feel like it's important to try to put some energy out there that's going to be uplifting and help us to recenter, refocus, and ground ourselves and have a sense of that personal autonomy and that sense of centeredness within ourselves so that we can interact with our environment from that vibration as opposed to fear, shutting down, and giving away our power. So I'm going to be using the Rider Waite Tarot as well as several different oracle decks. I will have those listed in the box below. So let's get started. All right, Virgo, we have the Four of Wands, and underneath that deck, we have the Page of Wands in reverse. So I feel like you may have received what felt like at the time some bad news about a home or marriage situation, maybe something to do with family. Whatever the case, it was something that was foundational to you. So I'm feeling like it's a foundational level relationship. So probably something like a marriage, some type of family structure. And the news that you received had to do with a lack of, passion that's in that. Um, and this was bad news. You could have been receiving this or you could have been giving it. Um, and either way, this affected your sense of personal empowerment at some level. So let's keep throwing some cards out here to see what the energy is of this. Okay, so let's see. We're going to use Angels of Abundance. Okay, yeah, we have let go of guilt and we have words of abundance. Okay, underneath the deck, we have abundance mindset. All right, so I'm feeling like this might be you. You may have had to deliver some bad news to someone and you may have been feeling guilty. However, I believe that the reason that you are delivering this news is because you were in a situation that was not bearing good fruit. Um, the passion had kind of gone out of it, and it wasn't serving either one of you in that situation. But you may have been holding on to that out of a sense of duty, out of a sense of not wanting to disrupt the status quo, but it was starting to turn toxic to a point where you felt like you could not come into an energy of abundance. So when you find yourself going into a state where you're not able to have the things that you need when you need them, whether that be love, material resources, just a sense of connectedness even to your own source, that's a sign that it's time to let something go. Something has kind of died down and you need to allow that to pass out of your life. You may not have felt strong enough to do that for a very long time. And with these cards, it seems like you decided that it was important to shift the energy of what you were in, of having a lack, whether that was lack of passion, lack of resources, lack of emotional security, I'm even feeling. And by doing so, you took your own power back and it shifted you in this single state. I feel like you're single. I don't feel like you're moving to another relationship. It's allowing you to manifest the things that you need to because you're not being adversely affected by some energy that's not in alignment with what you're trying to bring in. Okay. So let's keep looking at some cards with the mystical wisdom. Okay, we had 3 that popped out here. All right, yeah. Competition here. Under the deck, we have let go, think big for your future, and then open your heart and expect a miracle. So you may have been in a situation where you did not think that you were worthy of the energy that you're now moving into. And so you were settling for a lot of, I feel like maybe mistreatment in the form of being placed in to some situations where you were having to compete for things that you shouldn't have had to. So maybe possible third party situations. doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be family. It could be friends. It could be, jobs, anything that would get in the way of the relationship that you had and that was kind of competing for your your attention, your emotional security, any of that, okay? And I feel like you recognize that, your potential is wondrous. And if you let go of this, you'll have so much more peace by letting go of this and not being in it, and just expect for something good to come in, as opposed to holding on to something that was kind of fizzling out. And then on top of that, you may have had to be, competing just to get what little you were getting. Okay. There may have been other people that were trying to be where you were, and it wasn't even honestly someplace that you wanted to be. And maybe from the outside looking in, because this happens sometimes, let's be real, people see something and you think the grass is greener on the other side. Sometimes people think the grass is greener on your side. So they do everything in their power to get where you are, not knowing that you don't even want to be there in the first place, and that there's no need to try to compete and take what it is that you have, because it's not what they think it is. And vice versa. Sometimes you could be in situations where you're trying to get out of something thinking something else is better, and then you find out that it wasn't. That happens all the time. But I feel like either way, you got the courage and self-confidence drummed up to walk away from a situation that just really was draining and had just really passed its expiration date. Okay. You're able to cut through all the noise and I'm feeling like maybe there were people telling you that, you couldn't do better than this. It could be, it doesn't even have to be that there was somebody else that was trying to, be in your spot. It could have been like family or friends that were saying that you should stay where you are. Why would you leave that? If I were you, I would stay there. I would love to have that situation. And, lots of times people say that stuff and then they get there and they can't deal with it. And it's so much easier to look from the outside and tell somebody how easy their life is or how easy they have it when you're not the one that's living that life. And I think that you cut through all of that and decided that I'm going to go against the grain and do what I need to do to get myself where I need to be regardless. Okay. And because you're doing that, you are focusing on creating friendships with people who are going to be supportive of you going it on your own. Okay, we have the friendship card, and underneath that, we have self employment. And I think that by going it on your own, this means that maybe some finances were involved here. That's very common. You might have had a lot of financial security in this situation. And because you've decided that you're going to not stick around with this, people might have thought you were a little crazy for doing that. But you've decided that you would rather you kind of buck the advice of your friends and follow your own heart and walk away from situations where you feel like your finances are unfairly dictating what you have to do in situations where you could let go. Okay. Is it easier to stay in that situation? Yes. Do you have to? No. Will life be easier? Maybe not. I don't think you mind though. So let's look at Sacred Traveler. All right, we have the Gates of Triumph. Okay. And underneath the deck, healing energy flows through you. So, this could be like a generational family situation as well that you're breaking and walking away from. You could come from a line of people who marry for status or finances or something like that. And by you breaking that chain and walking out of something like this, um, you're healing something probably karmically for many generations of people who may have wanted to do the same thing, but just did not have the nerve to do it. And it's understandable why somebody wouldn't. I don't want to unfairly judge someone for wanting to hold on to something like that. So many people don't have those types of opportunities and they would love to have them, as you already know, I'm sure, if this resonates with you. But I think that the success that you're going to walk into on your own and on your own merit is going to be the testimony that you need to the fact that you did the right thing for you. It may not be the right thing for everybody, but it's certainly the right thing for you in this situation. Okay, let's take a look at the Wisdom Oracle. Okay, we have TikTok and under the deck, regeneration. All right. You feel like a clock is ticking. Maybe it's a biological clock, maybe it's something. I mean, there could be that maybe you wanted children in a situation and the other person did not. Um, it could be that you didn't want children in the situation and the other person did. But either way, you're feeling like the time has come for you to start this new beginning. You need to start over. So you're willing to let go of the old, kind of destroy the old so that the new can come up. On this card, there's a picture of a tree that's kind of being burned from the ground up. And then it's, the flowers and the leaves that grow afterwards. Anytime there's like a brush burning, you burn down the old stuff, the stuff that's in the way, so that the new growth can come forward. And you're feeling like it's time to do that, and you need to do that now. You're feeling very much called to do that after letting it kind of hang on for so long. Okay, let's take a look at the Rebels, Sacred Rebels. Lots came out. We're going to get one card. I have every journey begins with a single step. And under the deck, inner trust. So yeah, this is confirming what we said, that the time is now for you. You're taking the first steps, or you already have taken that first step to move on this new direction. And you're trusting yourself. Even if you're not getting a lot of, support from the people around you, family, friends, or otherwise, you're trusting yourself that you're doing the right thing in the face of going against the grain of what everybody else around you might do. And you're going to be rewarded for that. Will it be the easiest thing in the world? Maybe not, but it's going to be worth it because you're taking a risk to follow your soul and listen to what it is that your guidance is telling you, that North Node. All right, from the Peace Oracle deck, we have Illumination, and under the deck, we have Treasure. All right, so yeah, this is confirming again what we just said. You feel like you've been illuminated about your internal treasure or how to get to that treasure. On this treasure card, there's a star and there's eyes on it. So we were just talking about your North Node, or you're, following that star within. And by doing that, you are going to reach success as it is defined for you, because success is defined in very different ways for different people. And what does it matter if 10,000 people tell you that this is what it means to be successful? If you feel trapped, if you feel like you're not happy, you feel like you're not reaching your potential, you know that you're not doing what you need to do here on this planet, you feel like you're not able to produce the things you want to produce in this life, you don't feel abundant, you don't feel like you have genuine friends, and you just don't feel fruitful overall. I mean, that flies in the face of who you are. And so by walking away from that and listening to what that means for you, even if somebody else might look at it as being a failure or being, a step back, even if it's 1,000 step backs to another person, the fact that you were able to backtrack and get on this path that's so vastly different from what anybody expected you to do, even what you expected for yourself to do, is the success in itself. All right, Virgo, that's what I have for you. Thank you for joining me on this channel where we may be dazed, but we are not confused. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.